past paper question. So maybe pause and read the question. To find the value of k, so we're given the f prime and we're given the value of x and y. So we need to find the y function first. The y, or the f of x, is the integral of the y prime or the f prime. So the integral of this kx squared minus 2x, we integrate, we get kx cubed over 3 minus x squared, and we know that when the x is 0, the y is 2. So we replace the x with 0, the y with 2, we get the value of c. And when the x is 3, the y is minus 1. So we replace x with 3, y with minus 1, and we get the value of k. Next question. So the curve has stationary points up. Stationary points means y prime equals 0, or f prime equals 0, or f prime of x equals 0. So when the f prime is 0, we get this. When the x is 1 and when the x is 3, the y prime or the f prime is 0. So this means f prime of minus 1 is 0, because it's a stationary point minus 1, 2. When the x is minus 1, the y prime or the f prime is 0. So f prime of minus 1 is 0, f prime of 3 is 0, because it is also a stationary point. So we plug in minus 1 to this f prime, f of x, and we replace this with minus 1, replace this with minus 1, we get minus a plus b equals minus 3. We do the same thing with the 3, plug in 3, we get 3a plus b equals minus 27, and then we can eliminate, substitute, find the a and the b. After we find a and b, now to find k, we need to integrate. So if we integrate this, we get the y function. The integral of 3x squared is x cubed, minus 6x becomes minus 3x squared, minus 9 becomes minus 9x, and again we know when x is minus 1, y is 2. So y is 2, x is minus 1, we get the c. And to find the k, we just plug in x equals 3 and use a calculator. Next question. So to find the k, so we know that this function with k here, with the k, this curve is passing through 2, 2, and actually we know it's passing 0, 0 as well. But if we plug in 0 to the x, we will get 0, so we will never get k. So to find the k, we will need to plug in some values of x and y, which is not 0, 0, which is 2, 2 here, because the curve passes through 2, 2. This means when the x is 2, x is 2, x is 2, the y is 2. So 2 equals k times something, you can find the k. Now to verify that the curve meets the line again. So if we continue this curve and this line, they will meet again around here. So when they meet, this means the point of intersection, the point satisfies this straight line equation and this curve equation. It says they meet when the x is 5. So if they meet when x is 5, this means the point of intersection must be 5, 5, 5, because y equals x. If the x is 5, the y is 5. So the point of intersection is 5, 5. So all we gotta do is plug in 5 to this x value. Remember, we know the k is 1/2. So 1/2 times 5 cubed minus 7 times 5 squared plus 12 times 5. We just plug in 5 here. We know the k, we get the y, which is 5. So this means 5, 5 satisfies the curve, and of course it satisfies the straight line. So they intersect at 5, 5. And for the third part, we need to find the area. This is using the upper minus lower formula. So this shaded area is the integral from 0 to 2 of the upper minus lower function. The upper is the curve, the lower is the straight line. So the curve, which is We know the k 1/2. 1/2 x cubed minus 7/2 x squared plus 6x, the curve, minus the straight line, which is this x. So we integrate, plug in the limits, and use a calculator, we get the area. And maybe one more, you can pause to read the question. Obtain expressions for dy dx and the integral of y dx. So for I, we know that this is the y. So square root means to the power of 1/2, same thing. If we want to find dy dx, we simply differentiate. So when we differentiate this, we get 1/2 times 3, the new power is minus 1/2, times chain rule times the derivative of 4x plus 1 minus the derivative of 2x is 2. So in simple form, this is just 6 over the square root of 4x plus 1 minus dy dx. And for the integral of y dx, so we integrate this, so we can split, because this is a subtraction, we can integrate this, and then we integrate the 2x. So when we integrate this division line, exactly the same, the new power is plus 1 3/2 divided by that 3/2, also divided by 4, because that is the derivative of 4x plus 1. And we can simplify into, this is the 3 cancel out, so this is just 1/2 4x plus 1 to the power of 3/2 minus x squared, because you know the integral of 2x is x squared. Find the coordinates of m. M is the stationary point, so this is when the dy dx is 0. So when this guy is 0, so when this is 0, you can solve for x. And we want to find coordinates, so x comma y. To find the y, we plug in the x value into the original function here. So the square root of 4 times 2 plus 1 minus 2 times 2, use a calculator, we get 5. So the stationary point is 2, 5. And to find the area now, to find the area, well, we know that we are using integral upper minus lower. The upper is the curve, the lower is this straight line. Now we don't know the straight line equation yet. So we know that the point M is 2, 5, and we know that this A is the x-intercept of the curve, y-intercept of the curve. So y-intercept means when the x equals 0, so we plug in x equals 0 here. We will plug in x equals 0, we will get y equals 3. So we replace this x with 0, this x with 0, 3 times square root of 4 times 0 plus 1 minus 2 times 0, we get 3. So this is 0, 3, and this is 2, 5. You can find the gradient using y1 minus y2 minus y1, delta y over delta x. And if we know the gradient, we know the y-intercept, we know the equation of this straight line, which is x plus 3. After we find the equation of this straight line, now we can find the area, which is the integral from 0 to, this is when the x is 2, so from 0 to 2 of the upper function, which is the curve, minus the lower function, which is the straight line. So the curve minus the straight line from 0 to 2. When we integrate, when we integrate this, we know we get this. Actually, we already know this is the integral. So 1/2 for x plus 1 all to the power of 3/2 minus x squared, and the integral of the minus x, this is minus everything here, so minus x becomes minus 1/2 x squared, minus 3 becomes minus 3x. We plug in 2, plug in 0, and use a calculator, and we get the area. That's it. I'll see you again next time.